to our junior class of showmanship, starting with exhibitor number 5. I think this young man does an exceptional job getting this hog moved around the ring. He's got a really large open area and he has control over this pig at all times. Him and his pig are both very well presented and I do appreciate that. When he gets this pig on the move, I really do appreciate how smooth he is, especially with his turns. And I really do like that he shows off every angle of this pig and really gets him looking his best. The 2 things I recommend for this exhibitor is when your pig isn't moving, try to use your whip a little bit more rather than using the brush in the center of his back to try to get him moving again. And when he does run off from you, I would like to see you walk after him rather than run and keep your composure. Other than that, a really nice job. Moving on to entry number 6. This young lady does a really good job getting this boar moved around the ring. Personally, I don't like showing boars in a showmanship class, but then again, this is virtual, so I'm not going to take away from her or any of the other exhibitors who choose to use a boar. With that being said, I'd really like to commend her on her whip control, getting this pig going where she wants rather than where he wants. I would like to see this young lady be on the correct side of her hog at all times, that way the view isn't obstructed. This young lady shows off the front and the rear of her hog really nicely. However, I would like to see her show off the side profiles a little bit more. Moving on to entry number 7. This young lady and her pig are very well presented. I think this young lady does a really good job getting this pig presented on the side profile. However, when she does go in for a turn, she seems to want to stop and bunch up and not move forward. I think if you were a little bit more aggressive on your whip when going into those turns, I think that could make a difference. It appears that this young lady has really good control over her pig. And with that being said, I would like to see more of a side and a rear profile. Overall, this young lady does a really good job. Moving on to entry number 8. This young man comes out showing his big boar, and I think he does a really good job keeping him under control in such a large area. However, I would like to see this young man get a little closer to the shoulder of this boar and use his whip a little more aggressively just to really get the best control possible over this boar. As he continues showing this pig off, I really do like how conscious he is about where the camera is and making sure that he doesn't cut off the view at any time. I really like how this young man drives this boar away from us. Although I would like to see just a tad bit more eye contact with him as he is walking away. Overall, a really good job from this exhibitor. Up next is entry number 9. This young lady does a really good job getting this pig driven towards us, but as she turns away from us, that's where I'd like to see a few changes in her. I do really like the intensity and the eye contact that this young lady has. But I would like to see her look down at her pig and her surroundings just a bit more so she knows where she's going at all times. Moving on to our next exhibitor, entry number 10. As this video starts, I would really like to see this young lady use her whip more than using her brush and her knees and her legs to try to get this pig to move around the ring. I'd also like to try to keep her on the opposite side of the pig so that she doesn't obstruct the view of the camera. With that being said, once she gets this pig turned around and driving the opposite way, I think she does a really good job getting him moving on that side profile. However, when she goes to turn again, she starts using the brush and her knees, and I'd really like to see her avoid that. Other than that, good job to this exhibitor. Moving on to entry number 11. This young man comes out with a big smile on his face driving this big sow. And I really do enjoy seeing these kids so happy about showing their animals off. I can definitely tell this young man has worked with his sow, but with that being said, I would really like to see him up just a little closer to this pig's shoulder so that he can have the best control over her when he does maneuver her around. I'd also like to see him use his whip a little bit more aggressively to really get this pig going where he wants her to go. This young man is super concentrated trying to get this pig where he wants her to go. However, I would like to see a little bit more eye contact and a few more angles of this hog. Other than that, a really good job from this exhibit. Moving on to entry number 12. I can definitely tell this young man has worked with his pig before and definitely has her trained very well. However, from a showmanship standpoint, I would really like to see this young man drive this pig around with the whip rather than just having her follow the stick around with the marshmallow at the end. With that being said, I think he does a really good job of showing off the front and the rear of this hog, but I would like to see a few more side profile angles. I think once this young man starts using the whip for his pig, I think they'll be a really good team. Overall, good job to all exhibitors. Thank you.